so much for joining us, because right now we've got some great news for you. Donald Trump and his right-hand man Elon Musk have announced some huge changes that are coming from their cabinet meeting. And this is seriously monumental, guys, because what this does is it sets Trump and the administration up for success. They're going to be building out throughout the systems a auto DOGE check system. So everybody's been talking about the DOGE dividend. We talked about the $5,000 checks. Well, now they want to automate this, because as we have more DOGE savings, they want to implement it into the system. And Elon says that him and his team can do it, of not only tracking the DOGE savings, but also making it so that there is auto checks that are sent to the Americans. This is going to be so powerful in giving back to Americans, but also to show Americans that Trump's administration is an America First administration. Remember, they want to win the midterms. How do you do it? You give people back their hard-earned money. And this is one of the biggest changes that is coming to light that they've talked about, and now they're going to be implementing. And I am so excited for it, because it's about dang time that instead of giving our billions over to overseas countries and people and crazy NGOs, we're going to give it back to Americans. On top of that, Trump also announced that the Biden scandal was the biggest scandal in American history, and has now signed an executive order to investigate the probe into the Biden autopen and the January 6th committee. He said the people of America need to know what actually went on and who was actually running the country, because it wasn't Biden. And it gets even worse, everybody. Listen to this and tell me what you think about this, guys, because again, too, America First policies, checking into Biden, I think is a top priority. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But it gets even worse. We now know that the Biden administration held secret talks with the Chinese Communist Party officials regarding its spy balloon surveilling U.S. military bases. So remember whenever we saw this huge balloon going across America, everybody's like, what the heck is that? What's going on? And it was only when the average person pointed it out on X that we actually started to investigate. Well, Biden and them knew all along, and they allowed it to happen. They allowed them to photograph, video our military bases, and now this is a big scandal that Trump says we have to look into. Biden chose not to inform the American people, and it allowed the balloon to complete its mission, and it knew where it came from with the intelligence that has now been found, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this in the chat, in the comments, because I'm telling you, this makes me so mad, because it just shows he wasn't the president, he wasn't running the country for America, and he wasn't putting America first. On top of that, I hope you're sitting down for this too. We have new DOGE findings on the illegal immigrants that were paroled by the Border Patrol under the Biden administration. Well, guess what? 6.3 thousand of those paroled aliens had criminal records or had terrorist criminal records, and they all got Social Security numbers. There was 905 of them that collected Medicaid, 4 of them were on the terror watch list, and $276,000 was paid out to them. 41 of them collected unemployment insurance, receiving $42,000 in benefits. 22 of them received federal student loans totaling $280,000, and 409 of those illegal criminals received tax refunds that totaled in 2024 only to $751,000. We were literally giving terrorists and criminals our hard-earned money because they were automatically given Social Security numbers at the border whenever they were let go. Tell me, is this not a scandal, guys? We need to investigate this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, in the chats, please. I want to talk about this, but I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching. We got some bombshell news to go over today. I want to say thank you to all of our subscribers and viewers. Guys, if you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family here at TrueLife News. We want you here. We want to serve you. We want to keep growing this community, guys, bringing the truth to you no matter where it comes from. I want to say thank you to all of our members of the channel. Thank you so much for your continued support of our efforts to give back to charity, guys. On the 22nd of every month, we take those membership fees, we take those super chats, and we give back. And we are giving back thousands and thousands of dollars every single month with your support. We want to thank those that have given a super chat donation. Valerie Shupbuck and Celestino Marina. Y'all show them some love in the chat, guys. Thank you so much for your support. We couldn't do it without you. And want to give some love to everybody that has just supported us along our entire journey. We just crossed 170,000 subscribers, and it's all because of you. If you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button. Guys, I'm about to reveal some breaking news to you because the scandals were there and we're about to get started on the investigations. And I'm telling you, it's worse than what we thought. Check this out.
I wanted to update you on something that my team found that will absolutely shock you. Ever since the election, Democrats have been trying to scare people into believing that Donald Trump and Elon Musk were coming for your Social Security, that they were coming for your Medicare, your Medicaid. They aren't. None of it was ever true, and now we have the proof. According to the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, Elon Musk's team has just discovered that immigration officials under Joe Biden were doing something that's never been done before. They were giving illegal aliens work authorization papers just 5 months after they filed for asylum. The Biden Immigration Department would then mail each illegal alien a Social Security number, no questions asked, no interview, no background check, and presto, you've got yourself a brand new Democratic voter.
Right there, guys. I told you, like, this is huge. This is such a big scandal right now. Like, they gave them without no questions asked, boom, auto benefits, auto Social Security, auto Medicaid, auto driver's license, all this. They didn't even go through the proper process. They were trying to funnel in so many voters as quickly as possible because they knew that Biden was already losing.
That's how they were doing it. No administration has ever done anything like it before, but clearly Democrats had a plan all along. A plan that the media deliberately never talked about. A plan that was considered the third rail, off limits to even mention in polite company. They were importing voters. We have an answer to that question now. And while they were doing that, they were telling you this.
Well, there certainly is not an open border.
The border is secure, but we also have a broken immigration system.
The border is closed. The border is secure.
I just laid that really clear. It would be wrong to think that the border is open. It is not open.
Wow.
They were importing Democratic voters, lying to the American public, and now we have the proof. According to the Social Security Administration, the crime started immediately after Joe Biden took office in 2021. 270,000 illegals were given Social Security numbers. That's about the population of Hartford, Connecticut. That number would grow a year later to 590,000 illegals getting Social Security numbers, about the size of Cincinnati, Ohio. A year later, 2023, 964,000 illegals got Social Security numbers, about the size of San Francisco. And in Joe Biden's final year in office, on his way out the door, that number skyrocketed to just over 2 million illegal aliens getting Social Security numbers, roughly the size of our third biggest city, Chicago. In all, more than 3 million illegal aliens that crossed the border when Joe Biden was president now have Social Security numbers today that we know about, and it gets worse. According to DOGE, 1.3 million illegal aliens are currently on Medicaid, and at least 500,000 now have a driver's license, and they are killing Americans behind the wheel. Over the last 4 years on U.S. roads, dozens of deaths that didn't need to happen. And some of these illegal aliens...
Guys, let me know your thoughts in the chat, in the comments about this, because to me, does this say treason? Does this merit treason that they intentionally did this? Like, we want to show you everything, guys, and this is the hard truth that we had an administration that, I don't care if you're a Democrat, there is no justification for what we're seeing here. Because this happened, this destroyed families, and it is 100% been wrong, and there's nothing, no law that it gave any ounce of merit to allow for this that happened. And if you don't mind, if you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up like button, this to me, that T word, guys, it's there.
Actually voted in the 2024 election. Something we were told was not happening is now a reality.
Yes.
Social Security Administration automatically sends you in the mail your Social Security number. No interview, no ID.
It was a massive, large-scale program to import as many illegals as possible, ultimately to change the entire voting map of the United States.
We actually just took a sample and looked at voter registration records, and we found people here registered to vote. In this population, yes.
And who did vote?
And we found some by sampling that actually did vote, and we have referred them to prosecution at the Homeland Security Investigation Service.
Yeah.
Already.
They have made that information public. Anybody who's curious can look at it. Do you still think that Elon Musk is trying to destroy Social Security? Do you still think that he's trying to destroy Medicare or Medicaid? We talked about that for weeks. We do not. And we think you need to know the truth. We can also confirm what we have suspected all along, that when Joe Biden said this, he absolutely meant it.
I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
He meant every word of that. For years, we would ask, why would anyone let 15 million criminals into the country illegally? They're here illegally. That makes them criminals. Why would any leader want to do that? Why would anyone want to fundamentally change the racial and ethnic makeup of the greatest country on earth, America? And now the answer is crystal clear. This was their plan all along. Democrats know that the only way their broken party can win elections in the future is to import voters. So that's exactly what they did, while telling the public that the border was closed. The border was closed, and they said that over and over again for 4 years. And the other option is simple. Joe Biden has got dementia. He was never in control or in charge, and as a result of that, bad actors were likely running the White House. The answer now...
Guys, let me show you this. This cover-up is so bad, and I want to show you guys, because this is the first dang time that I've seen some breaking news that has come through that I have to show you. It's so good. It makes my heart leap with joy when I'm about to show you, because this is what we need more of in the United States. Republicans moved to use $2 billion from USAID for veteran housing. No more homeless vets. I want to thank everybody personally that watches our show that is a veteran. Thank you for your service. Thank you for putting your life on the line. Thank you for taking your life and putting it for this country, and you deserve this. What you're seeing on the other side, not even close to what should be happening. But right here, guys, this is breaking news, guys. I love it. Moving, instead of giving $2 billion to another country, let's help out our veterans and make sure that they're housed. Let me know your thoughts. Show some love in the comments, in the chat for our veterans, guys, because it's about dang time.
Is probably a combination of the two. But America needs answers, and Republicans have to investigate and possibly prosecute whoever perpetrated the greatest single crime in American history.
Look at that,
and that's
guys.
what this is.
That happened.
15 million illegal aliens in this country in a 4-year period. These people should not be here. And it's time for Republicans to start doing exactly what Democrats did to them. People don't like the word revenge. Why not? It's time for that if it's warranted. When Donald Trump left office after his first term, Democrats prosecuted everyone. Steve Bannon went to jail. Peter Navarro went to jail. Paul Manafort, Roger Stone, Rick Gates, George Papadopoulos. Anyone who did anything related to Donald Trump got indicted because Democrats play dirty, and they are much better at it than Republicans. So where are we today? Well, the White House is trying to undo all of this right now. And Democrats are protesting for illegal alien gang members who have already been deported to be brought back to the United States. That's how broken that party is.
It's so sad.
This is what kicking the out of fascism looks like.
I am an immigrant. I am undocumented, unafraid, queer, and unashamed. So we are very big on the chanting, and y'all have all the energy today. So
I hope they deport her. The
no
undocumented.
Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
If you've got the means to unlawfully deport someone, you find the means to bring them back. Bring them back. Bring them back.
Bring them back. They want criminals back in the country. This is a Democrat-endorsed plan. For 4 years, Joe Biden claimed he needed Congress to close that border. That was a lie. According to the Department of Homeland Security today, illegal border crossings in March dropped to their lowest levels in recorded history, dropping by over 95% from what they were 1 year ago.
During the same period last year, Joe Biden released more than 184,000 illegal aliens into our country. Think of it. Many of these people were from jails and mental institutions, as I said. Since my inauguration, we've released a grand total of nine,
guys.
And they were all, in all cases, medical emergencies. But we will continue to deport these monsters under the Alien Enemies Act. Think of that, Alien Enemies Act. Can you believe it?
Many Democrats, many stars of the Democratic Party seem to be really confused about what the law is here in the United States. They seem to think that what the White House and what ICE are doing is illegal. It's not.
My Republican colleagues are here using today to continue pushing this false narrative of sanctuary cities harboring criminals. Yet right here in D.C., we have a 34-count felon being harbored in the White House. The hypocrisy coming from your side of the aisle over concerns regarding lawlessness is outrageous. Right now, House Republicans are conducting town halls with constituents lying about our legal system. That, quote, there is no due process if you come here illegally because you violated the law. That immigrants, quote, are not entitled to due process. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that.
Well, now, hold on a second there, Jasmine. Actually,
it does.
It most certainly does. We looked into it. I'm sorry to be the very first person to tell you this, Jasmine, but illegal aliens do not have the same rights as U.S. citizens.
Guys, it's so messed up that you have this propaganda coming from an elected official, congresswoman, who literally is supposed to uphold. Right there in that point in time, they should have called her out and said, you know what? Here is the actual statutes. Guess what? We're going to censure you. We're going to hold you in contempt. You cannot, from the bench of the actual Congress, tell people that what the law is not. That, to me, again, borderlines treason. This right here, guys, I'm so tired of it. Because how are they able to? Mike Johnson needs to get his butt in there with the backbone and hold these people accountable.
Do not have due process under the law like U.S. citizens do. According to the law, protections for illegal aliens are limited. They are not entitled to a public defender. There is no jury because these proceedings happen in civil court. The standard of proof is also a whole lot lower. Essentially, federal agents just have to present proof that they are here illegally before an immigration judge, and then they can be deported. The truth is,
guys, this is how sad America is right now, is that we have these people who will do this to Trump, 79 in unjust injunctions, fighting for illegals. You heard them yourselves. Those were the Democrat officials fighting for illegal criminals to be brought back to the United States. And it gets even worse than that, guys. What it gets even worse is that they did this to us. They gave 6.3 thousand paroled aliens with criminal and terrorist records social security numbers. They gave them $276,000 in Medicaid, $42,000 in benefits for unemployment insurance, $280,000 in federal student loans. We're talking about criminal terrorists, guys. Criminal terrorists. $751,000 in tax refunds. You can't make this stuff up, but this is the new DOGE findings. This stuff is astronomically so bad when it comes to the Democratic Party, and they're doubling down. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. I want to thank Patricia Weinman for welcome to the family. Cougar POFL, thank you for upgrading your membership. Bonnie Blackwood, welcome to the family. Scott Matthews, thank you so much for your support, brother. And Bonnie Blackwood said, finally caught you live. We love your show. You bring so much. Thank you. Let's go. Y'all show Bonnie, Scott, and our new members some love in the chat. Because there's more to it, guys. We have dug up for you. We're showing you the evidence that there were some rhinos in the Senate that somehow, and again, this is why I told you guys, when it came to Mike Johnson, you got to watch that slippery fish. They were able to continue some of Biden's green energy scams, and they got it through. Listen to this.
And the only reason the model continues to work, their model continues to work with massive Keynesian infusion of stimulus, $2 trillion a year in deficits. It's not sustainable. Their model's not sustainable. President Trump's model is sustainable. Why do you think the Chinese Communist Party is up in arms and trying to defeat it? If it was so detrimental to the United States, it was so beneficial to the rest of the world, why would they be fighting it? They've gotten a free ride. We underwrite all of their security. It's the reason your defense bill's $1 trillion. We're being played for suckers. You're underwriting the security, and you don't have a pension. You don't have a 401k. You got a little bit of a tip money for Social Security that you put money in, you get $1,000 a month back, and you get some Medicare. You don't have any early retirement. 5 million manufacturing jobs have gone. 9 million Americans are working at least 2 jobs today. 60% of Americans can't put their hands on $1,000 in cash in case of an emergency. The elites have made paupers of the American people, and President Trump is saying, we've had enough of this. The American people have stood on their feet in every crisis in the world to do more, to free more people in the world and create more wealth for everyone in the world. And guess what? The time's now to take care of the American people.
Yes.
And the folks that have created this system, that have benefited from the system, that have exploited and taken your wealth that you created, of course they don't like it. Of course they're going to sit there every day and say how awful it is, how terrible Trump is, and how awful this MAGA movement is. We don't care what they have to say.
Well, the first thing is I just love Santelli. You can just tell the guy is a truth detector, right? The way he talks, he just spits it out. You can't lie that fast. The mainstream media is very clever in their language, right? They're very good at lying. They're sophisticated. I read CNN on the PPI, and the market's anticipating some stuff, but they can't anticipate other stuff due to Trump. But bottom line, yeah, the PPI is gone down, right? 3.2 to 2.7 annually. And that's a bellwether for retail prices and the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, inflation. So the PPI is on the producer side, but it's good news. And in there, you saw food prices are going down, oil prices are going down, energy prices going down. All great news. And yet, when you look at the mainstream media, all you see, I was on a show this morning, and they put up these huge, massive price increases. Those are expected, likely written by the lords of easy money, Wall Street crew, in order to drive a narrative. Those are not actual real data that are coming out on prices. There's no evidence of prices going up due to Trump's trade war, nothing yet. Right? It's like my favorite guy, Bob Gordon, on technology and AI. He says, don't you see technology everywhere, Bob? And he says, along with another Nobel guy, yeah, I see technology everywhere, just not in the data.
Dave, Brad, talk to me about the phoniness of these budget cuts.
Right here, guys.
Well, the phoniness is embedded in one story. These group of rhino senators who are trying to keep Biden's green stuff. But let's just get to the headline for the big numbers in that article. And so it's from I think it's from kind of a center-left group, maybe even the Center for Budget Control. But they're right on the numbers. So 1.5 or 1.8 trillion in cuts over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
And that's if you believe that, right? Thune was having a hard time saying that in public. Over 10 years. That's $100 billion a year, whatever, right? Versus $86 trillion in spending over 10 years. So 1.8 trillion cuts, 86 trillion spending. 1.8 is about 2.3% of that 86 trillion. So we're talking nothing, and I don't even think you get to the 1.8 trillion in cuts, right?
Yes.
The best indicator every single year is whatever we're doing this year, whatever we're spending this year. So
let me tell you this, guys. I just do not have a good feeling about Mike Johnson. I don't have a good feeling about Thune. I feel like these guys, if they were really serious about cutting, that it would have been in this budget reconciliation. But you just heard him. They're planning on spending over the next 10 years 86 trillion. All right? So 10 years, 86 trillion. That amounts to about what? $8.6 trillion per year. Now, it goes up for some reason, and our population isn't going up that fast, but it's only 1.5 trillion in cuts. We're already spending $2 trillion over budget. So something is wrong here. The numbers don't add up. We're holding them accountable, guys, but I'm telling you, something is here.
we do another Biden-Pelosi budget, that's what you're going to get for the next 10 years.
This is the point. Over the 10 years, repeat that. It's $86 trillion in spending. Is that correct, Dave Brett? $86 trillion. That's going to essentially be transferred from your pocket in taxes, right? Your pocket in taxes for them to spend, plus $2 trillion a year. If they have a gap, they'll just sell it. They'll sell the bonds to foreigners, and what they can't sell, that we'll just sell to ourselves and just essentially print money. And that deficit builds up. And this is why when they come back and ask for the debt ceiling relief in the Senate bill, it's, lo and behold, $5 trillion. And I think that's over 2 years. I still haven't gotten an answer on that. I think it's $2 trillion. It's $5 trillion that gets us through past the midterms. Then you've broken $40 trillion. This thing's not going to stop until we make it stop. Because the political class is too gutless. And they sit there, they walk in front of the camera. Mike Johnson walks in front of the camera. We've had such serious and significant, meetings. Remember, they went to Doral about 2 months ago. They came out of Doral. The conference came out of Doral, their think tank. They spent 3 days at Doral, and they came up with $30 billion in cuts. $30 billion in cuts.
That's nothing.
It's just, it's a joke.
And this is without any wars, right? We have World War II debt levels now, percent of GDP, with no wars going on right now. I mean, we wasted a ton of Ukraine. But now there's serious stuff on the map going forward, right? So the budget doesn't include any COVID emergencies, no crises. So the numbers are going to be way bigger than the $86 trillion in spending. Right? This is just status quo, built-in government running as usual, funding Biden green bailout bill.
Guys, again, we show you everything, guys. We want you to see everything because it matters. And I want to give some more love, again, to this. The Republicans moved to use $2 billion from USAID for veteran housing. Guys, show some love in the chat. Let me know what your thoughts are. Please comment about this because to me it matters. This is a 100% right move. We were using USAID to funnel politicians' pockets. We're using USAID to give to illegals, and it's about dang time that we gave it to our actual people that fought for this country. No homeless veterans. If you appreciate that, guys, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. Guys, I want to show you this. I want to remind you because, again, remember, the China Communist Party controls our politicians. A lot of them, especially on the Democratic side. Do y'all remember this video? This is a video from San Francisco that Xi Jinping came to the United States, came to San Francisco to meet with Gavin Newsom, the governor of San Francisco, and he cleaned up the streets of San Francisco for him, for a communist dictator. Couldn't do it for his own people, couldn't spend the amount of time that it took or the money to clean up for his own people. But when a dictator came in from China, he closed off the streets, shut down the homeless, kicked them out, cleaned it all up for him. This is what these Democrats do, guys. And this stuff we cannot forget, because they'll continue to do it, because to me, there's too many of them that are done paid off. They're done far gone. We don't need them anymore. We need new people, new blood to come in and actually do what needs to be done to put America first. Thank you so much, B1 Sly One, for the super chat. Let's go. He said, can you add tonight's stream an update on merch shipping? Chad's been asking last few days. I think we're still a week away. Yep, we are still about a week away from them getting to us, guys. Remember, when we purchased for the shirts, we were a new customer, so it takes a little bit longer in the beginning. The next time around, it'll be a lot faster. But thank you so much. Y'all show B1 Sly One some love in the chat. Check this out.
Season 2 of The Apprentice, White House edition, is off to a hot start. Trump gathered the contestants into a cabinet meeting after a strong first quarter.
Everyone at this table is doing an incredible job, by the way, I have to say. Incredible. And the relationships are, it's like they're friends. There's really, the relationships are very strong, really good, really strong. And these meetings are very good.
No one's going home this episode. Elon, though, he can leave at any time. But Trump doesn't want him to because he's good for ratings.
Elon's done a fantastic job. Look, he's sitting here, and I don't care. I don't need Elon for anything other than I happen to like him. But I'm telling you, this guy did a fantastic job. I don't need his car. I actually bought one because, and they said, oh, did you get a bargain? No. I said, give me the top price. I paid a lot of money for that car. But honestly, he makes a great car. You know what I do with it? I let the people in the office drive around in it.
Sources say America's heartthrob, Stephen Miller, has been hogging the keys to the boss's new whip. Margot, Natalie, and Chamberlain want to spin, but Miller won't let him drive. Even if Elon leaves, the car stays, and so does Big Balls.
Thanks to your fantastic leadership, this amazing cabinet, the very talented DOGE team, I'm excited to announce that we anticipate savings in FY26 from reduction of waste and fraud by $150 billion. And I mean, and some of it is just absurd, like people getting unemployment insurance who haven't been born yet.
Your people are fantastic. In fact, hopefully they'll stay around for the long haul. We'd like to keep as many as we can. They're great, smart, sharp, right? Finding things that nobody would have thought of. Very computer savvy.
Tech support's been working overtime to doge the billions we're spending on 100% organic shea butter in Burkina Faso, and of course, masseuse is in Nigeria. And no one ever says thank you. They just Molotov his cars. But don't worry, Bondi's on it.
Your directive to me was to keep America safe, and that's what we're doing. You know, you also gave us a directive to prosecute the people who are going after Tesla to the fullest extent of the law, some of the greatest police work I've seen. We've made 4 arrests. There will be no negotiations at your directive. They're all looking at 20 years in prison, and within the next 24 hours, you're going to be seeing another huge arrest on a Tesla dealership president.
Let's go.
And that person will be looking at least 20 years in prison with no negotiations.
We don't negotiate with...
Did you hear that, guys? And I'm super happy about that. Don't go and try to burn up a dealership. 20 years, no negotiations, put their butt in jail, set them as an example. You don't burn up dealerships. And then especially, guys, come on. Tesla is the most American car dealership out there. No car company, not Ford, not Chevrolet, none of them come close to being as American. And if you can fact check me on this, on the parts, the people, the software, everything is American when it comes to Tesla.
Trantifa or bad hombres. Bondi and Cash seized 45,000 pounds of narcotics yesterday, and the CIA is changing the rules of engagement. The agency used to help arrest cartel kingpins. Now they're considering assassination. And Bobby Kennedy says, don't change the channel.
By September, we will know what has caused the autism epidemic, and we'll be able to eliminate those exposures.
Exposures are so big. Think of that. So it was 1 in 10,000 children had autism, and now it's 1 in 31. There's got to be something artificial out there that's doing this. So you think you're going to have a pretty good idea, huh?
We will know by September.
There will be no bigger news conference than that.
The administration is going where no one's dared to go. And when you work hard, there's prizes.
I've had over 100 people working around the clock to scan the paper around RFK, Senator Robert F. Kennedy's assassination, as well as Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination. These have been sitting in boxes in storage for decades. They have never been scanned or seen before. We'll have those ready to release here within the next few days.
That's great. That's great. Bobby, how do you feel about that? That's hitting close to home. When you think, I'm thinking about Bobby when that statement's made.
I'm very grateful to you, Mr. President.
Wow.
Assassination files have been sitting around in boxes collecting dust for decades, and we get to see them in a couple days. That episode's going to be hard to top. But Hegseth gave it a shot. We're getting the canal.
We just got back from Panama last night. We were at the Panama Canal with their Southcom commander ships, F-18s, troops, and signed a couple of historic deals. And then also a memorandum of understanding with their security minister for the presence of U.S. troops. Fort Sherman is an old U.S. base there, as well as their naval station and air station, jointly with Panama to secure the Panama Canal from Chinese influence. That's something you said, we're taking back the canal. China's had too much influence. Obama and others let them creep in. We, along with Panama, are pushing them out, sir.
Jose, this is a memorandum of understanding. It means you understand it's ours. Comprende? Pistol Pete booted China from Panama. He didn't even need the Navy. But next time, it might not be that easy. So we'll be ready.
Last year, the Chinese received 1,700 orders for new ships. American shipyards received 5. Under your leadership, like so many other industries, we are going to revitalize and make...
Guys, listen to that. Chinese, last year, received orders for 1,700 ships. The United States, 5. Guys, this all matters. All of our protection. Making sure America is safe. We're one of the safest countries in the world because we got water on both sides. But that's why Trump wants the Panama Canal to the south and he wants Greenland to the north, to make sure that we can put military bases and we can protect ourselves from north, south, east, and west. But to hear these numbers, guys, this is insane. We need to make sure America's safe because you never know.
Shipbuilding and maritime, great again.
We're going to start the process of rebuilding. We don't really essentially build ships anymore, which is ridiculous. It's going to be a very big business for us in the not too distant future.
To build ships, we also need mariners to sail those ships. You have to invest in sailors. And I appreciate you taking the initiative to be a global power.
Team Trump's committed to breaking China's stranglehold on the West. It's a two-punch combo, military and economic.
They've really taken advantage of our country for a long period of time. They've ripped us off beyond nobody. How people stood for it, sitting in my position, is not even believable. And we're talking about many presidents, not just a couple. But they did, and all we're doing is putting it back in shape. We're resetting the table.
The Chinese won't lose face, so they're ratcheting up retaliatory tariffs and flirting with banning mineral exports. But it's early on in the escalation ladder, so they're just banning Hollywood.
China retaliated today by reducing the number of American films that can be shown there. What's your reaction to them now targeting cultural exports from the United States?
I think I've heard of worse things.
The worst thing that China can do to us is we're not going to show Frozen to the kids in China. We're really going to show America. Guys, what a joke. Look. We're going to kick their butts right now. I got some breaking news to show you in just a moment. It's happening just like Trump said it would.
What's Hollywood going to do if Beijing can't see Clooney movies? Stage another coup? Today, tariffs on China hit 145%. We have Xi by the wontons. Mr. Wonderful says squeeze harder.
They cheat, they steal, they don't play by the rules, and I've had enough. And so I would like this thing worked out. I don't care about the volatility. I don't care if Trump ratchets it up 25% a day.
What do you mean you don't care about volatility if volatility has a direct impact on us as the consumers?
Because we have to fix this problem once and for all. It's killing us. It's killing small business in America. It's killing
it's a
large
slow
businesses.
bleed.
When you shut down a factory, you put thousands, if not tens of thousands of people unemployed in China. They take burning torches, just like in a Frankenstein movie, up to the castle, and that's a bad outcome for the supreme leader. Right now, we can squeeze Chinese, and I'm talking about the government, not the people, to comply with the laws and get a level playing field. Why should I have to compete with them? Let's squeeze them, squeeze them, squeeze them. Just keep going and going and going until they start complying. That's what I want.
For years, Washington's been trying to level the playing field with China. Just ask the Messiah.
If we don't write the rules, China will write the rules out in that region. We will be shut out. American businesses, American agriculture, that will mean a loss of U.S. jobs.
Barack heard that giant sucking sound and sat on his hands. Look at the manufacturing jobs that left in the last 2 decades. We lost manufacturing jobs and grew government jobs. Look at that. Look at all these bureaucrats. That's right there is why we stopped building ships, cars, and steel. And Wall Street got rich outsourcing, but it put our nation in danger. And the market's trying to scare the president into getting back on their leash. But for the first time in a long time, it's Wall Street on a leash. America can't be first if we're not a modern industrial powerhouse.
Mr. President, one of the most important things I believe you'll achieve in your presidency is reordering the world in a proper way. For 31 years, more than 31 years now, multiple administrations have allowed the Chinese to deindustrialize this country, to take away jobs and factories and pillars of our national strength. And what you're doing now, I think, is a great service to our country.
Trump got the world to align with us against the Chinese. Asian allies aren't calling Beijing, they're calling Washington.
Let's go.
Heck, South Korea and Japan are already here. And Vietnam just flew in. Here's Besant with Hodok Pha. There's 70 other countries waiting online behind Hodok.
We have so many countries to talk to. It is, it's incredible. I think Scott and I, I'm not sure we could ever have enough time in the day to talk to all these countries because they want to talk and they want to talk now. And they have come with offers that they never, ever, ever would have come with, but for the moves that the president has made, demanding that people treat the United States with respect. We're getting the respect we deserve now, and I think you're going to see historic deals, one after the other.
The biggest problem they have is they don't have enough time in the day. Everybody wants to come and make a deal. And
guys, let me tell you this. We wouldn't even be close to where we're at if it wasn't for the backbone, the steel backbone of Trump. If you appreciate this, guys, hit that thumbs up like button. Do us a big favor, guys. Thank you so much. And let me know your thoughts in the comments on what you're seeing right here on the screen. Trump literally posted this, guys, and said, for every 1,000 likes, I'll make the tariffs on China bigger. He is not joking around. And just like Kevin O'Leary said, we have been bleeding for a long time because China's been taking us on. They've been stealing this and doing that, and it's time that we fix the problem. This right here, guys, shows Trump's not playing around. When Howard Lutnick, our Commerce Secretary, says we're talking with these countries and they've never presented a deal like this. They've never offered what they're offering now if it wasn't for Trump. That is America winning. Just think about it. 3 months ago, because he's only 2.5 months in. 3 months ago, the United States was getting ripped off by everybody. And now we actually are being respected once again as the greatest country in the world. But again, guys, I got to show you. Remember I told you in the beginning, Trump is launching a probe and investigations through executive order into the Biden scandal, the January 6th committee, because what has happened with lawfare against people and against the American trust of our systems and our Congress and our Congress and our DOJ and FBI is wrong. Listen to this, because it's about dang time that things start changing.
Thank you, sir. And lastly, we just have 3 proclamations. These are the sorts of things that most presidents use an autopen for. You obviously don't like using the autopen much, if at all. The first of these is National Former Prisoner of War Recognition Day. This is one that you did in each of, I believe, each of the previous years of your previous administration, recognizes former prisoners of war. More generally, this proclamation is written to acknowledge the great steps you've made both in this administration and your previous administration on behalf of veterans, homeless veterans, others who have suffered in that way, and basically stating that it's a priority of your administration to ensure that veterans and homeless veterans are cared for properly.
Good.
100%.
And you know what? They ought to find out who was using that auto pen, because whoever that person was, he or she was like the president of the United States. And I'm against auto pens. I think auto pens are not a good thing, especially when you're talking about documents like we're signing today. If he can't sign, then he can't be president. It's pretty simple. Let's see whether or not he could sign. But I think that should be tested. I really think that should be tested. It's another one. And you may think about it, because how can a man that, did he really know that when they gave all false information on the council, I mean, the whole unselect committee of political lunatics, they destroyed all the information. You can't get any information. They went for like a year and a half, almost 2 years, screaming and ranting and raving. Democrats plus two worse than Democrats. You had Liz Cheney, and crying Adam Kinzinger. Crying Adam. Every time I looked at him, he was crying. The guy was a crier. But you can't do that. You just can't do that. So we're going to find out a lot. I think we're going to find out a lot. These last 3 or 4 have been they've been very, very interesting. We'll see what happens.
Sure.
But I don't think a president should be allowed to use an auto pen when they're signing very, important legislation. I think a president should sign it, not use an auto pen. And we're going to find out whether or not he knew what the hell he was doing. I'm sure at this point he'll say, I signed it. They'll tell him what to say. But to give pardons to people that destroyed all the information. If you destroyed information on a civil case, just a civil case, not a criminal case, a civil case, they put you in jail for that. And they found out that Pelosi was the one that was in charge of the security of the Capitol, and she knew all about it, and she admitted her guilt to her daughter, who was a movie documentary person. I'm sure her daughter's not too happy about that. I'm sure Crazy Nancy's not too happy. But we found out all the things, everything, and we go for the information. Sir, we've destroyed all of that information. If I haven't destroyed it, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I guarantee you that. I'd be sitting someplace else. So I think it's something that we should really look at, because that's so important.
Right
the
here,
whole
guys.
concept of an auto pen, because whoever's, auto pens are run by somebody. Whoever ran the auto pen was president of the United States, and I would be willing to bet that Biden didn't know, probably didn't know anything about any of it. Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Guys, right there. I'm like, all this stuff I'm super happy about. I'm super happy about accountability. But what I'm super happy about is I just want America to see the truth. The truth that you can literally put a puppet into the United States presidency and control him, and he has no idea what's actually happening. But what it shows is that there is a deep state involved. That there is people behind the scenes controlling the strings, not putting America first, but this is what America first looks like. Right here, judge sides with Trump. Anyone in the U.S. illegally must register with federal government. This is a huge, huge win, guys. Because remember, what have these people all been saying? Oh, they have the same rights. Oh, we can't find them. This happened and this and this and that. And the Democrats, so what Trump is doing is he's legally creating the right path for us to hold these people accountable, get the real numbers of how much people actually came in, how many actually have Social Security, how many actually have benefits, and then be able to present that to everybody and say, look, here is the truth. If you appreciate that, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I'm telling you, We would not know half of what you're seeing right now if it wasn't for Trump. We would still be in the dark if Kamala Harris would have won, because it gets even worse than that. Check this out.
And joining us now for more, Ohio Congressman, Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan. Mr. Chairman, good to see you. Quite a day on Wall Street. Take me through what happened today. It seems like everybody won except for China.
Yeah, the president's focused on the real bad actor here, and he's saying, look, 70-some countries, I think it's 75 countries have already reached out to the White House, reached out to President Trump, say, we want to talk. He got their attention. He's a great negotiator. This is how it's supposed to work. He says, okay, we'll take a timeout. We'll take a pause. We'll relax it, and we'll negotiate and do what's best for, as Mr. Bessent was just saying, Secretary Bessent was saying, what's best for the American people, what's best for Main Street, not the focus on Wall Street, but what's best for the country. I think it's a win-win, and I think good news for the American people.
Yeah, and the market's going to go up and down. We know that. The Dow up 3,000 points today. We've never seen that before in either direction. Take a listen to what the president said happened today with China in particular.
Nothing's over yet, but we have a tremendous amount of spirit from other countries, including China. China wants to make a deal. They just don't know how quite to go about it. You know, it's one of those things they don't know how quite. They're proud people. A deal can be made with every one of them. A deal's going to be made with China. A deal's going to be made with every one of them.
All right, so the president kind of hinted that this was the art of the deal. Is that what happened today? Was this the plan all along?
Yeah, I think it was, and it sure looks that way. So, I mean, you can, what's the left's going to say? Oh, no. Don't believe your lying eyes. Well, it sure looks like this is exactly what the president had in mind. 70-some countries have come forward. He's going to continue to be tough with China, but he wants to get a deal with everyone because, here's the bottom line. I remember last week everyone said all these other countries were saying this. People were saying, oh, tariffs are terrible. Well, if they're so darn bad, why do you put them on our products coming to your country, for goodness sake? So we want a world where you can trade freely. President Trump wants that, but he wants agreements that benefit the American people. That's who he represents, and 77 million of them voted for him on November 5th because he said he was going to do this. He said he was going to secure the border. He said he was going to stop the weaponization of government. He said he was going to do all these things.
Yes.
And guess what he's doing them? God bless him for doing what he told us he was going to do, and this is exactly in that vein. And I think, again, the economy...
Guys, everybody is so blown out of their mind because they're like sitting back. All the Democrats are like, dang, he really doing what he said he was going to do. He put tariffs on China 145%. Dang it, he closed the border. Dang, man, he's really investigating everybody. Man, what do we do? No politician does this. Like, if you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up like button, I love this because that's what a businessman does. He says what he's going to do, and then he does it. You can hold him to his word. These politicians are so slippery. They can try to get away and spin everything, but what a businessman does, which is what Donald Trump is at his core, if this is what I say I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. Promises made, promises kept. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, in the chat.
Appreciates that. Certainly the market appreciated today with how much we saw in the increase in the Dow.
Yeah, I want to ask you about Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Why do you think she sided with the liberals on the bench when it comes to something as common sense as deporting criminal illegal aliens? Why would she do that?
Well, I mean, I choose to focus on the positive. I think we got a good decision from the court on the Boasberg decision you're talking about there, delaying it. We also got a good decision from the Supreme Court on this case out in California, where you had this left-wing group saying they were denied standing by the court. They were saying, oh, these employees, these probationary employees who President Trump said shouldn't be working any longer in the government, he got a win there too. So I look at overall, these are two big wins from the United States Supreme Court for the Trump administration in the last 3 days. I think all this talk we've been doing, you've been talking about it. We got a bill that's going to be on the floor here in a minute or two that I got to go vote for, that says these injunctions only apply to the parties in the case in that respective jurisdiction, shouldn't have nationwide application. That's a great bill. All those things we're doing oversight-wise, I think are making a difference, and you saw that in the court's two decisions.
Okay, I don't want to keep you, but I know it's called the No Rogue Rulings Act, expected to pass in the House today. How do you get 60 votes in the Senate, Mr. Chairman?
Well, you keep talking about it. You keep doing the oversight. We had a hearing last week where former Speaker Gingrich talked about the historical the perspective here, and some district judge thinks that they get to be president. That's not how our constitutional system works. So you keep talking about it. And remember, Justice Kagan just 2 years ago said that this was a big concern and it shouldn't apply nationwide. So the people, even folks on the left, understand this is a problem. So maybe we can get there, but you keep highlighting it. That's how public policy and politics and, you know, national opinion, that's how it works. We're going to keep doing it.
Guys, I love it, guys, because again, too, the accountability is there. Like, I want to show you this, guys, and it's so hard because, again, we see this stuff. What I'm showing you, it happened. We've already lived through it. A lot of people's lives are forever changed, people that have had to deal with this. But the Trump administration is revoking parole for 6,300 immigrants flagged either on the FBI terrorist screening center watch list or have criminal records. This is 100%. Do you realize that we have Democratic officials that are fighting Trump on this, saying that he has no right to do this? I want to show you a clip, guys, because you know what? It's hilarious. You don't recognize the Democratic Party today because they've been hijacked by some billionaire or really, you know, a hectamillionaire. And now they aren't even who they truly are because money got in the way. Because listen to this and tell me, does this not sound reasonable? And is this not a person that you would be like, you know what, with this policy, I'd vote for you? I hope you're sitting down.
So I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes. And you have to try to learn English. And you have to wait in line.
Now, guys, let me know your thoughts. I want to see it in the comments. I want to see it in the chat. What do you think about Hillary Clinton, who just said all that? You would have thought that was Donald Trump. This sheds so much light on, wow, what the heck has actually happened. Thank you so much, Scott Matthews, for the super chats, brother. Thank you so much. I'll let the family know you said hi. And thank you so much, Michelle Lindsay, who said, promises made, promises kept. Y'all show them some love in the chat. Check this out.
I got to spend time with him last night, Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. Senator, this is what you told me you wanted last night. You got what you wanted.
Yes. And here's what I think most fair-minded Americans saw and have concluded. With tariffs, an eye for an eye just makes both people blind. Tariffs hurt both sides. Number two, it's undeniable that many countries, including but not limited to China, have used tariffs in a way to hurt the American people, and they've been doing it for a long time, since God was a child. Number three, President Trump, guided by the principle that if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly, hit back very, very hard. Then fresh hell broke loose. Most members of the media were saying that civilization is going to melt and that we're all going to be living in a refrigerator box behind Outback. Then an astounding thing happened. I thought that these countries were going to bow up and fight. But fully half of the countries in the entire world said no mas. They came to the president and said, we want to lower our trade barriers and make a deal. I was astounded. And, well, no, they didn't. They could have bowed up and fought, but they decided it was
to their manufacturing. They need access to, you know, our markets.
They decided that it was in their best interest to make a deal, and the president wasn't bluffing. And he seized the opportunity. I mean, look, no person with an IQ above his age can believe that these countries would have come to the table but for what President Trump did.
Yes.
Now, some don't want to admit that, but it's the truth. And you know, deal making is an art. President Trump has clearly mastered the art. It was an impressive couple of weeks.
I think you were a little shaken yourself at one point. I was beginning to worry if you were going wobbly on me. But I think there's something much deeper in play here, and I want to get your thoughts on it. I think this solidifies the Republican Party, the MAGA movement, as the party that represents working men and women in this country.
Yes.
And is standing up for them. And meanwhile, the Democratic Party is the party of coastal elites that choose Wall Street over Main Street. And this is a dramatic shift. Now the Republican Party represents the people that truly do make America great, the people that work in those, the UAW workers, the steel workers, the manufacturers, the people, you know, that work hard, play by the rules, pay their taxes, obey the laws, raise their kids, go to church on Sunday, and, you know, are fighting to put food on their table. They're the ones that benefit, aren't they?
Yes, but I want to go back to your earlier comment. There was a sharp debate and disagreement in the White House. The president had many advisors telling him, do not make a deal under any circumstances.
Dang.
And I said I was very vociferous. I said, look, I don't know what the president's going to do. If it were me, I'd take the deal. And that's what he decided to do. Was that his plan all along? It certainly looks like it. But let me say it again. If you're going to be fair, no country who's come to the table would have come to the table but for the fact that President Trump did what he did.
Yes.
And that's just a natural fact, and I don't see how anybody, even those who hate the president, can disagree with him, nor could they disagree with the proposition that it was an artful piece of deal making.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it was is the American people and all these countries know they've been ripping us off. They know they've been taking advantage of us. And meanwhile, in the cases of our allies, we provide for their national defense. We pay a lot more than they do. For example, the European Union has no business putting a 10% tariff on our cars and a 20% VAT tax, which raises the sticker price by 30%, and no wonder we don't sell American cars in Europe. It's over. Those days are done.
Well,
you
know
don't
what
get to
else
sell 10 cars to our one car there.
You know what else it was? Nolan Ryan said one time, the strikeout king. The press asked him, how did you do it? How were you the strikeout king? He said, it's real simple. They never know whether or not I'm going to throw at their head. And it gives me a little extra advantage.
I was a pitcher. I sometimes hit people in the head, but it wasn't on purpose. It was always an accident, never on purpose.
Guys, let me tell you this. Is this not us winning? Is the exposure of what I'm showing you on the screen us not winning? Because again, too, it sucked that it happened. Remember that huge balloon that floated across the entire United States and no military shot it down. It just did its thing. Well, we found out, guess what? It was the Chinese Communist Party. And we also found out that the Biden administration held secret talks with the Chinese Communist Party about this and allowed it to move over our military bases and complete its mission. This is the guy. Guys, this makes me so mad. Again, borderline, treason. Treason. Like, let me know your thoughts, because to me, this is so messed up that we find all this stuff after the fact. But who the heck is going to be held accountable is what I want to know. I want to know who the heck's going to be held accountable for this. We shared it in the news yesterday, but guys, this warrants another show. DOGE posts shocking data on unemployment insurance claims. $254 million, guys, was given in unemployment insurance claims to kids that were under the age of 5 years old. We got seniors that can barely make it, barely pay their electricity, barely buy food, barely put gas in their car. But this fraud is what the Democrats have fought tooth and nail to try to prevent. But I'm glad, guys, because again, we got so many pit bulls, guys, that are fighting, bringing forth the light of what is actually going on. Listen to this.
All right, we're back with another update on cutting wasteful spending here at DOD, and this one is, as they say, a big one. This is a big day. We're signing a memo right now directing the termination of $5.1 billion in DOD contracts. Not million, that's with a B. $5.1 billion in DOD contracts for ancillary things like consulting and other non-essential services. So here's a few examples. DHA contracts for consulting services from Accenture, Deloitte, Booz Allen, and other firms. They're going to save the department $1.8 billion. How about a software reseller contract for enterprise cloud IT services, saving the department $1.4 billion. A $500 million Navy contract for business process consulting. Again, process, lots of consultant. For offices in the Bureau of Medicine. By the way, we need this money to spend on better health care for our warfighters and their families instead of $500 an hour business process consultant. That's a lot of consulting. How about this? A DARPA contract for IT help desk services that are completely duplicative with services already provided by our DISA workforce, saving the department another $500 million. We're also terminating on the DEI front, 11 more contracts for DEI, climate, COVID-19 response, and related non-essential activities across the department. We are committed to rooting out DEI, root and branch throughout this department, and we found 11 more contracts, and we're going to keep looking. So that's $5.1 billion in DOD contracts we're getting rid of. On top of that, in support of the president's priorities to stop federal funding for academic institutions that tolerate anti-Semitism and support divisive DEI programs, this week, DOD is also pausing over $500 million in funding to Northwestern University and Cornell University.
Wow.
And that's on top of the $70 million in funding we've already paused at Columbia, Penn, Brown, and Princeton over the last few weeks, as if any of these institutions need more government money at all. So for your keeping score at home, today's cuts bring our running total to nearly $6 billion in wasteful spending over the first 6 weeks of the DOD DOGE effort here at the Defense Department. Their job is to go and find the stuff that we can get rid of and then flow back into, drive back into warfighting capabilities here at the Defense Department. So we want to thank our friends at DOGE. We want to thank all the folks here that have helped us unpack this, reveal it, and we're excited to make these cuts on behalf of you, the taxpayer, and the warfighters here at the department.
Let's go, baby. Guys, what a powerful, powerful move. Guys, I got to show you this. I cannot believe this is true. But this is, again, the facts, guys. If someone gave you $500,000 a day, starting from when Jesus was born until now, you still wouldn't have as much money as Elon Musk. He's not interested in your $18.74 in your checking account. Sit down and shut up. I just did the math. If you got $500,000 a day from the time Jesus was born till now, you would have $350 billion. Elon Musk's net worth is $352 billion. Wow, guys. Again, but this is what the Democrats try to do. They try to deflect. Want to say thank you so much to everybody who is watching, guys. Thank you to all of our subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family here. We want you here at TrueLife News, guys, to serve you every day with the top news. And if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button, we are truly grateful for your support, for everybody that shares these videos, likes these videos. We just want to continue showing you the facts, showing you the truth, the breaking news of what's going on, because to us, it matters. And we just want to give some love and thanks to our members of the channel. Guys, remember, with the memberships and super chats on the 22nd of every single month, you will find here live on stream, we are giving back thousands and thousands of dollars back to charity. So when you support the channel, you support us giving back. We don't have to do this, but what we want to do is show you that we're more than just reporting the news. We are giving back and bringing positive change, giving to local charities that are helping out kids, orphans, helping out moms that don't got nowhere to go with their one kid. Guys, this is what, to me, it's all about. I want to give some love to Scott Matthews. Cougar POFL, Patricia Weinman, Bonnie Blackwood. Want to get some love to B1 Sly One, Michelle Lindsay. Guys, y'all show them some love in the chat. We're truly grateful to serve you every day with the top news. We love you. We thank you. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.